Hi, Jean. Happy Tuesday. Hi, Ann. Hi, Sharon. Here they come. Hi, Cheryl. Happy Tuesday. All right. We're ready to get started here. Hi, Deb. All righty, let's go ahead and get started. Happy Tuesday, everyone, and welcome to my Facebook Live for Tuesday evening. I am Barbara Reed, and better known as the Wexford Stamper, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am here to demonstrate or share a pocket card today. Before we get to that, I want to make sure that everyone who is my customer or on my team has their own annual catalog. Okay, the launch is coming on May the 4th, so it's time for you to get one of these in your hot little hands and start looking and making your wish list. So let me know on the comments if you need a catalog. I'd love to be your demonstrator, and I'll send you one if you need one. Alrighty, so other than that, let me think of other announcements I'd like to make. As always, our project this evening will have a PDF on my blog that you can download and print out if you would like to. So I always like to say that. And remember, my blog is thewexfordstamper.blogspot.com. I put up all my projects on that blog, and they all have the videos and the PDF tutorials that you can share with yourself and others. So don't hesitate to check out my blog. I've got lots and lots of great inspiration there. All right, well, let's go ahead and get back to our project for today. And as I said, and I have done earlier in the week, I said we are going to be making a pocket card. And this is a really simple design, but it's a bit of a wow because it's kind of different. But it is the regular size of a card, but you make a pocket on the front, thus the name pocket card, get it? And then you have your little panel that you can pull out and put your sentiment on and write in anything that you like there. And for those of you that have looked a little bit through your catalog, and maybe some of the demonstrators that have some product already, know that this is the Pansy Petals Suite. And that is in the brand new catalog, and you will be able to order from that starting on May 4th. So it is an amazing, amazing suite. I cannot show you the inside of the catalog until it launches, but I can show you some of the product. Here is the stamp set. It's called Pansy Patch, and it has multiple step stamping to make a larger and a smaller pansy. And then you have two-step stamping for the little leaves. And then here are some of the little stems. Really, really cute mixed font sentiments there. It covers about everything you need. And then here is the coordinating dies that come with it. And what is super cool about these dies, and I did it for my project this evening, you can use some of the dies to cut out of the paper that you get. This is the Designer Series paper that comes with the set. And if you look here, there is a die to cut out the stamped larger pansy, but that die will also cut out the larger pansy on the Designer Series paper. So it's super, super cool. I love that. There's also a smaller daisy that you can stamp and cut out with the die, or you can cut it directly out of the paper. So it just is very versatile. And then as there are the flowers, there's also some of these little leaves, and there are 2 leaf dies. That was hard to figure out. And those also can be die cut out of the paper or stamped and die cut off the cardstock. So I love that. You can do that. Now tonight's project is going to use flower and leaf images that were die cut from the paper. So this is a quick way that you can make these cards. All right, at the end, I'll show you some other projects that use the stamps and some of the other dies to make the flowers. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, you're gonna start with a piece of Evening Evergreen. Now, this is one of the new in colors that we are going to be able to get starting in the new catalog. There are 5 new in colors, and this is called Evening Evergreen. And this cardstock is cut at 4 1/4 by 11. Okay, it is. I've already scored it. I scored it at 1 1/2 and 5 1/2. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my bone folder. First, I'm going to fold over the 5 1/2, and that really just folds the card in half. And then I'm going to fold back over the 1 1/2 inch score line and give that a good crease. And that's the basic construction of the card. There's the little pocket right there. So it's very simple, straightforward design, but you can use this design to make cards with any of the stamp sets and suites. Hi, Renee. Nice to see you. Joanne, too. Great to see you, folks. All right, so there's our basic design. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring in some of this amazing Designer Series paper. Look at this paper. We're going to use these 2 pieces on the front. I love this gingham check. And see, there's the leaves on the back of that, but we're going to be using the gingham check that's on the front. And I'm going to go ahead and take my Seal Plus, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere this right to the front of the card. Oops, let's turn it the right way. Right kind of under that flap that we just created. Okay, so there is that piece there. Then I'm going to put a little bit of the Seal Plus right here on that flap and fold it over. Okay, then I'm going to take my smaller strip that measures 4 1/4 by 1, 4 1/4 by 1 1/4. And I'm going to put that right on the flap that I just adhered down. I'm trying to read off my PDF and can't follow the lines there. All right, so there we go. There's those 2 pieces. Now I prefer to put a piece in the back because when we pull out the little card, oops, let's turn it this way. I like to have a little bit of background color. Now I know it doesn't have to go all the way down to the bottom because you're not going to see it. But I just like to do that because that's the way I roll. So I have, this is 4 by 5 1/4, just like a panel you would put on the card front, just the same size. And I chose this pattern. Isn't that so, so pretty? Has a lot of the new colors in there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna adhere that right here. And that's actually the inside of the card. And then I'm gonna fold this flap up. All right, now we're gonna close up the pocket of our card. And to do that, on my sample here, I use some of the Fresh Freesia, that's another in color, open weave ribbon. Tonight, I'm going to use the Evening Evergreen open weave. They have the ribbon in all the new in colors. So let's go ahead and use this. I'm gonna cut off a nice slice of that. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna turn my card over so we have the back. And I wanna look about approximately where the center of that flap is. And that's where I'm going to put a little bit of my Seal Plus right across. And then I'm going to put my ribbon right on that line of Seal Plus, and then that ribbon will stay put for you when you tie it in the front. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over, and I'm going to tie my bow right on the front here. So you can really use any of the colors, but I was just going to mix it up a little bit and use the darker one tonight. Okay, so I'm just going to fluff up my ribbon here a little bit. Pull in the loops a little, and now I'm going to go ahead and cut these off. Okay, so now I have my ribbon on my card. So let's go ahead and make our little embellishment for the front. And to do that, I'm going to start with a stitched circle. Now, these stitch circles are going to be retiring. So if the stitch shape dies are something you really love and you don't have those yet, you might want to check them out. I think they're on sale, but they're going to be retiring. But remember, you can always use a circle that you have from another die set or whatever you would want to use for that. All right, so I'm going to use the stitch circle. All right, and I'm going to bring in one of the sentiments from the Pansy set. It says, wishing you a little extra happiness just because you're you. Okay, and I'm actually going to use the Blackberry Bliss for this, a real nice dark, kind of a maroon color. I like the way it looks with that. So there's my sentiment. Isn't that pretty? I just love the sentiment on there and how we have a little bit of cursive and a little bit of print together. They always do that, and I love that. All right, we're going to turn this over, and I'm going to put 3 dimensionals on the back. Yes, it's going to be beautiful. You will love this one, Renee. It's a great set. And I actually have a product kit that makes cards in a box using the Pansy set. And I'll tell you a little more about that after I finish here. All right, so there we go. That's on there. Now remember, I told you that I was using my paper and just cutting it out with the die. And look how pretty that looks. It comes out and looks just perfect. So this was cut out with the die of the paper, out of the paper. Okay, makes putting a card together very, very, very easy. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals right here along the side. And then I am going to adhere my little pansy right there. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to use my Tombow for this. A little bit of Tombow right here. Get a little of that off. That was too much. And I'm just going to slide my little leaf underneath. And there you have it. Oh, I know what I want to add to this just to show you how it looks. There are some amazing little bumblebee trinkets that come with this suite as well. And I'm going to put one on this card, even though I didn't do it on the sample. Okay, so there is the little bee. Looking for my glue dots. Here we go. But they are adorable. And there are 20 little bees in the pack. And they just add such a cute little touch to your cards. I'm going to go ahead and put him down there. Okay, so that was a little bit of ad lib, but I thought about those little bees and wanted to show them to you. So there's a little bee on the front. Isn't that cute? Hi, Jody. All right, now we've got the card all finished. Let's go ahead and make the insert. All right, let me get my dimensions up for that. All right, we're going to start with a piece of soft succulent. Trying to find my extra pieces here. All right, where did my soft succulent go? I did cut this. Here it is. Thought I was losing my mind. Okay, now let's talk about our insert. This is another one of the in colors, new in colors. It is simply succulent, not soft. Sorry, still getting to learn these names. And this is cut at 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. Okay, now I have a piece of basic white cardstock here cut at 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And we're just gonna go ahead and kind of layer them. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our stamping first. And I'm just going to put a happy birthday on the inside. So we're going to use that Blackberry Bliss again. And another one of the sentiments from the Pansy set. I'm going to put that right there. And then what I did for this, I used the dies again. This time I used the small pansy die and cut out a smaller pansy from the paper. And then I used the other leaf and cut out a different style of leaf. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put those on the inside of my card just to decorate it a little bit. I'm going to put the pansy at the bottom of the card. And let's slide in the leaf right here. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this whole panel over, put some of my Seal Plus on there, and put it right there. So there's our panel. The last thing I wanted to do, and I'll show you why, when I was looking at the card all finished and it had this big white area here, I thought, oh, I think I'd rather have a little bit of that same designer series paper across the top so it isn't so white there. So that's what I did again. So I took a 1/2 inch strip and I'm going to put that right across the top like that, just to give it a little color, because it's going to be peeking out a little bit when the insert is in the card. So I'm going to just go ahead and put that right here across the top. All right, last thing I'm going to do here, this is to make the little pull. Okay, right here, you don't need a pull, but I like to do that because I think it gives the recipient an idea of what you want them to do, because they might look at the card and say, okay, where do I go here? So that tells them to grab the tab and pull it out, okay? So what I did is I took a little strip of, this is the pale papaya. So this is another one of the new colors. And this is cut at 1.25 by 1 inch, and then scored at 3/4, just so it makes like a little fold over tab. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm going to use the Tombow on this because that'll give me a little bit of time to move it around if it's not quite in the right spot, because we want to get it right in the middle. All right, here we go. Wish me luck. All right, I'm going to go ahead and slide. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and pinch it down so we have the back and the front adhering with the glue. And I got a little bit of the rich raspberry on my fingers. I'm sorry, the Blackberry Bliss. There we go. Now we can go ahead, and that just gets slid right into the pocket. And there you go. And see, you have your little bit of Designer Series paper there, and just makes a beautiful card. So there is my first official project with the new Pansy Petals Suite. Isn't that so pretty? Let me show you some other things that I've made here that show you a little bit some of the different things, different ways you can make the flower. Okay, here on this one, I used die cuts to make these flowers. Okay, I just die cut different colors of cardstock and put those together, and just using Tombow, I could build the flowers. So there's all these different pieces dies come that you can go ahead and cut those out. And you can make all different colors of flowers. Here's a flower that this is rich raspberry, and then this is the fresh freesia. Okay, so that's one combination I used to make the pansies. And now this one is a petal pink pansy here. Okay, so you can make the pansies using your DSP like I showed you with the pocket card. Here you're making the pansies with cardstock, just cutting them out using your dies. And then the other way you can is you can stamp them. So here, this is a stamped image of a pansy and a stamped image of the leaf. Now there are 3 different steps you need to make the pansy, and then 2 different steps for the leaf. I will be doing this project, as a matter of fact, in a couple of weeks, and I will show you how to do that 3-step stamping. So that's what's so cool about this set. You have all the different ways that you can make the flower. You can do it just with the paper, or with the dies, or with the stamped images. So it really is a great, great set that you're going to get lots and lots of use out of. All right, let me go ahead and I'll give you kind of a sneak peek of some of the projects that I've made. In fact, I already showed some of them to you. These 2 are going to be in my product kit for the month of May, and information will be coming out about that very shortly. You get all the consumables that you need to make 2 of every card, and these are just 2 of the cards. Where did I put oh, here's the 3rd card. Okay, so you're going to get all the materials you need to make 2 of this one, and this one is one of my fun folds that opens like that and has the gorgeous paper inside. Kind of a fun fold. These are all fun folds. So that will be one. You'll get enough materials to make 2 of those. And then this is a fold out. You'll get all the materials to make 2 of these as well. You open up your ribbon here, and then you fold out your card like that. Okay, so that's the second one. And then The third one is another new kind of card design I've been getting into, is the clear card. So this is a clear card. This card base is clear, and then you have your happy birthday on the inside of that one. So these 3 cards plus this Hershey bar box are all part of that product kit. Okay, and I will be sharing information about that in the next week or so. I'm going to probably launch that on Sunday. So if you'd like some great, if you're thinking about buying the Pansy Petal Suite, you could buy the kit along with it and be able to make 2 of each of these cards and 1 box. So that's like 7 projects to go with it. Okay, so let me know what you're thinking, and I'd love to send you a kit next week. Also, we'll be having I will be having my yard sale starting on the 4th as well. I think everybody has gotten a invitation for that if you're interested. It's the BOGO yard sale, just like I did last week. So hang in and watch for more information about that. I will be posting my retired items on my blog on the 1st of May, and then the BOGO will start at 8 a.m. on the 4th. I'm excited. Lots of fun things coming up. The kit, hold on, Deb. I have it written here. Okay, the kit will include, option 1 will be all the consumables and does not include the bundle, and that's $30. And if you want to include the bundle, that's $85. Okay, so those are your 2 options there. It really is just the cost of the bundle itself, and we really just kind of put in the other stuff. You're going to get, with the first option, you will get a half a pack of the Pansy Petal Designer Series paper, a pack of the Bumblebee trinkets, a roll of the fresh Freesia open weave ribbon, and a pack of gems. And of course, there'll be a PDF and a video tutorial, and that's $30. Okay, if you want to add the bundle, that will be $85. Okay, so I will post more information about this on Sunday, but I just wanted you to know while we're here talking about the Pansy Petals Suite. But it is a great suite, and in the next 2 weeks, I will be doing 2 more projects using this amazing suite. So don't forget, go to my blog and pick up your PDF on how to make the pocket card. And if you have any questions about it, let me know. I'd love to help. And please post any pocket cards that you might make. Post them on the VIP page. All right. Thanks for joining me this evening. Go out there and get a last little bit of the beautiful day we had today. And remember, on Friday, we have our buffet. We will be focusing on bundles that are going to be unbundling for the next catalog. So maybe we will see some of you on Friday. So stay tuned and have a great evening and keep on stamping. Bye now.